Hello, my pack, and welcome back. If you thought things were intense before, you have no idea what's coming. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button and turned on notifications, because this is where everything changes. Now get comfortable, and let's step back into the dungeon. Chapter 7, The Prophecies Mark. You smell of prophecy, Anya. You smell of my destiny. The words echoed long after he finished speaking. I stared at him, refusing to let him see the crack in my armor. Destiny? I laughed cold, sharp. You invade my kingdom, slaughter my people, chain me like an animal, and you dare speak of destiny? Authur didn't flinch. His golden eyes darkened slightly, not with anger, but with something heavier, something burdened. You think I came for your throne? He asked quietly. I could have taken it 10 years ago. Arrogance suits you, I shot back. He stepped closer. The chain at my ankle pulled tight as I instinctively backed up. The air between us felt charged like the sky before lightning splits it open. My grandfather died on your border, he said. Not in battle, not fairly. He was cursed. The word hung between us. Your great-grandmother, he continued, was the most powerful witch queen your line ever produced. When she killed him, she bound our bloodlines together with a spell. My stomach twisted. That's a lie. Is it? His voice lowered. Have you never wondered why your magic feels incomplete? The accusation struck too close to something I had never dared speak aloud. Since childhood, I had felt it a barrier inside me, a ceiling I couldn't break through. My power was strong, but it never reached the heights the ancient texts claimed my lineage once commanded. You're trying to manipulate me, I said. Then why? He asked softly. Did your magic flare when I touched you? Silence, because it had. When his fingers brushed my hair, something inside me ignited. Not submission, not desire, recognition. He turned away from me suddenly, pacing the small cell like a caged predator. For 100 years, he continued, my pack has searched for the queen born under the blood moon, the one whose fire would either break the curse or finish it. My breath hitched. The blood moon. I was born the night the sky burned red. It's superstition, I said, but it sounded weak. Authur stopped pacing and faced me fully. You think I wanted this? He growled. You think I wanted my fate tied to the bloodline that destroyed mine? His control slipped for just a moment, and I saw it. Not cruelty, conflict. You are the key, he said. Your magic, my blood. Together, we either restore what was broken, or we destroy each other. The dungeon felt smaller, the walls closer. You expect me to believe this? I whispered. I expect you to feel it, he said. And the worst part? I did. Without warning, he stepped forward and gripped the iron cuff at my ankle. My magic reacted instantly. Silver light exploded from my skin, racing up the chain like lightning. Authur didn't let go. Gold flared from his palm, meeting my power in a violent clash of light. The cell shook, stone cracked. The air roared with energy that hadn't been seen in a century. I gasped, not in pain, but in shock. My magic was stronger, wilder. It surged through me like a living thing, and his power didn't suppress it. It amplified it. When the light faded, the iron cuff lay split in two on the floor. We stared at it, then at each other. You see? He said quietly. I swallowed hard. If what you're saying is true, I managed, then why keep me in chains at all? His jaw tightened. Because my council would kill you if they knew what you are. Cold realization washed over me. They think I brought you here for revenge, he continued, for leverage. They don't know the prophecy names you as my equal. Equal, not prisoner, not trophy, equal. A heavy silence fell between us. If this curse is real, I said slowly, then breaking it would restore my kingdom's full magic and strengthen my pack beyond anything our enemies could stand against, he added. Our enemies, not just his. 100 years of bloodshed, border wars, betrayal, all born from a curse neither of us cast. You want an alliance, I realized. I want survival, he corrected. For both our people, and if I refuse? His gaze softened, just barely. Then the curse completes itself. Your magic will burn you from the inside out within a year, and my bloodline will wither with it. My heart pounded. This wasn't conquest. This was desperation. You expect me to trust you? I asked. No, he said. I expect you to hate me. He stepped back toward the door. But I also expect you to want answers. He paused before leaving. Tomorrow, he said, you will dine at my table. Not as a prisoner, he looked at the broken chain on the floor, but as a queen. The door shut behind him, and for the first time since waking in that dungeon, I wasn't thinking about escape. I was thinking about war, not between us, but beside him. Chapter 8. The Wolf Den. The doors to the great hall opened slowly. I walked beside Authur, not touching him, not looking at him, but painfully aware of every step he took. The Moonscar stronghold was nothing like Elendrale. No silver spires, no stained glass. Stone, timber, war banners, claw marks carved into pillars like trophies. The air smelled of smoke, steel, and wolf. At the far end of the hall stood a crescent-shaped table of dark oak. 5 figures waited. Authur did not slow. Stand straight, he murmured under his breath. They smell weakness. I don't have any, I replied coldly. A flicker of approval crossed his face. The 5 wolves watched me like predators measuring prey. Kale, the war general, scarred from brow to jaw, massive, arms folded, open hatred in his stare. Lyra, the seer, silver-eyed, too still. She studied me like a puzzle piece she didn't trust. Darius, the strategist, sharp smile, calculating, political, dangerous in a different way. Bronn, the enforcer, silent, loyal to Authur alone from what I could tell. Selene, the Alpha's cousin, elegant, cold, and very clearly unhappy with my existence. You bring her here unbound? Kale growled. She is not a prisoner, Authur said evenly. A low rumble spread across the table. She is the Witch Queen, Selene snapped. Her blood cursed our line. And her blood is the only thing that can break it, Authur replied. Silence fell. Lyra's silver eyes flicked toward me. Show us, she said. Authur looked at me. This was it. The test. I stepped forward. If they wanted proof, I would give them proof. I closed my eyes and reached inward. The barrier I had felt my entire life, that invisible ceiling, trembled. Touch me, I said to Authur. The entire council stiffened. He stepped forward slowly. Our hands met, and the world exploded. Silver fire erupted from my skin. Gold lightning surged from his. The 2 forces collided, then twisted together like twin flames. The hall shook. Torches shattered. The great oak table split down the center. Wolves stumbled back. Power roared through me, not painful, not wild, complete. For the first time in my life, my magic felt whole. When the light faded, smoke curled toward the rafters. Kale stared at the cracked stone floor. Selene looked furious. Lyra looked terrified. It is true, the seer whispered. Darius leaned forward slowly. If the curse is breaking, he said carefully, then someone will feel it. My stomach tightened. Who? I demanded. Lyra's gaze darkened. The Blood Regent. The name rolled through the hall like a death sentence. Authur's jaw hardened. He has been waiting for this, Lyra continued. The curse kept him contained, bound between realms. If your union restores balance. It weakens the seal, Authur finished. Ice slid down my spine. You're telling me, I said slowly, that our ancestors didn't just curse each other. They locked something away, Lyra said. And if we finish what they started, Darius added, we free it. The room felt smaller. So we either remain cursed, I said, Or unleash something worse? Yes, Lyra whispered. Celine stood abruptly. This is madness. Kill her and end it. A roar tore through the hall. Not mine. Authur's. The sound was primal, commanding, absolute. Celine froze mid-step. No one, Authur growled, eyes blazing molten gold, touches her. The dominance in his voice wasn't just political. It was instinct, claiming. The room felt it. So did I. Chapter 9. A Choice of War. Later, after the council dispersed in uneasy silence, Authur and I stood alone on the battlements. The wind whipped my hair around my face. You knew, I said quietly. I suspected, he answered. And you still took me. Yes. I turned toward him. Why? He didn't hesitate this time. Because I would rather fight a god at your side than live another century incomplete. The honesty in his voice unsettled me more than his threats ever had. You don't trust me, he added. I don't, I agreed. But you felt it, he said. I didn't deny it. Far below, a distant horn sounded, not from within the stronghold, from beyond the mountains. Lyra's voice echoed in my mind. If your union restores balance, it weakens the seal. Another horn answered. Closer. Authur looked toward the horizon. He's awake, he said. The sky above the western peaks darkened unnaturally fast. Clouds twisted. Lightning flickered red, and for the first time, I realized this was never about revenge. Never about kingdoms. We weren't enemies. We were keys, and something ancient had just started knocking. The western horizon split with crimson lightning. It wasn't natural. Clouds spiraled inward, forming a vortex above the Black Spine Mountains. The air itself seemed to recoil, like the world was holding its breath. Every wolf in the stronghold went still. Even the wind stopped. Then, a voice. Not heard with ears. Felt. It slid through my skull like ice through veins. Blood of the witch. Blood of the wolf. You tear open what was sealed. I staggered. Authur caught my arm before I fell. You hear him? He asked. Yes, I breathed. The voice came again, deeper this time. A century I have waited in the dark between heartbeats. The sky pulsed red. And in that pulse, I saw something, a silhouette, towering within the storm. Not fully formed, not free, but aware. We gathered again in the war hall. Lyra stood over ancient maps, not of land, but of ley lines, energy currents that threaded beneath the earth. They didn't just curse each other, she said. Your ancestors bound the Blood Regent between realms using a convergence of magic. She looked at us both. Witch fire and alpha blood. I swallowed. So breaking the curse unravels the binding. Yes? Authur's fists tightened on the table. Can it be restored? He demanded. Lyra hesitated. Not as it was. Silence fell. Darius leaned forward. Then we changed the ending. All eyes turned to him. If the old binding required opposition, he said carefully, perhaps a new one requires unity. The word hung there. Unity. Between wolf and witch. Between us, a tremor shook the fortress. Not from outside. From beneath. Stone fractured along the courtyard floor. A red fissure split open, glowing from within. And from that crack, a hand emerged. Not flesh. Not bone. Shadow woven with bloodlight. The wolves roared and rushed forward, but the thing dissolved into smoke before they could strike. Lyra's voice trembled. The seal is fracturing faster than I feared. Authur turned to me. How strong are you? He asked, bluntly. I met his gaze evenly. Stronger than I was yesterday. Strong enough to stand in the center of that storm? The question wasn't about power. It was about survival. I don't know, I admitted. His jaw tightened. Then we train. Chapter 10. Fire forged. They cleared the inner arena. No council, no audience, just him and me. You must stop resisting it, Authur said. Your magic pulls away from mine out of pride. I don't need your help, I snapped. A brow lifted. Prove it. I unleashed silver flame. It surged across the arena, controlled, sharp, deadly. He met it with gold. But this time, instead of colliding violently, he redirected it, guided it. Our powers circled instead of clashed. And for one suspended moment, they harmonized. The air vibrated. The ground stabilized. The red crack in the courtyard dimmed slightly. Lyra, watching from the archway, whispered, "It responds to them. To us." That night, the voice returned. But this time, it wasn't distant. I woke standing on the battlements. I didn't remember walking there. The sky above me was black except for a single red tear burning overhead. And he stood inside it, no longer a silhouette, tall, crowned in jagged bone, cloaked in swirling crimson mist, eyes like dying stars. The Blood Regent. "Little airs of arrogance," he murmured, voice smooth as silk dragged over a blade. "You think unity strengthens the lock?" Authur appeared beside me, having sensed the shift. He bared his teeth. "You will not rise," he growled. The Regent smiled. "You misunderstand. I do not need to rise." The mountains trembled. Far in the valley below, torches flared. Dozens. No hundreds. Figures began climbing the slopes. Not wolves. Not witches. Something in between. Twisted. Corrupted. Eyes glowing red. "Your ancestors sealed me," the Regent continued softly. "But they forgot something." His gaze locked on mine. "Seals weaken when airs fall." My blood ran cold. "He doesn't need to break free," I whispered. Authur understood instantly. "He just needs us dead." The Regent's smile widened. "Let the hunt begin." The red tear in the sky vanished, but the army below remained. Climbing, closer, war horns sounded. Kale barked orders. Wolves shifted mid-stride, bones cracking, fur erupting. The corrupted creatures hit the outer gates at dawn. Claws met steel. Silver magic arced from my hands, but I wasn't alone this time. Gold surged beside it. Our powers intertwined without instruction. Not chaotic. Coordinated. A creature lunged for me, twisted, fanged, wrong. Authur caught it midair, snapping its neck with brutal efficiency. Another broke through the line behind him. I incinerated it before it reached his blind side. We moved instinctively, covering, anticipating, balancing. The wolves began to notice. So did the council. Celine watched from the ramparts, and for the first time, doubt replaced her hatred. The battle raged until the sun stood high. When the final creature fell, the valley was silent. But the storm clouds still churned above the mountains. He wasn't done. Not even close. As the wounded were carried away, I felt a burning sensation on my wrist. I looked down. A symbol had appeared on my skin. Crimson, intricate, pulsing faintly. Authur's eyes widened. He turned his arm over. The same mark burned there. Lyra went pale. "It's a tether," she whispered. "A tether to what?" I demanded. Her silver eyes met mine. To him, the Blood Regent's voice echoed faintly in the wind. "Run, little heirs. Every step you take brings me closer." And somewhere deep beneath the mountains, something laughed. "Okay, my pack, we officially have war. A demon king tethered to our main characters, and a council that just witnessed undeniable power. What is the Blood Regent really? Can the mark be removed? And how close are Anya and Authur to fully unlocking whatever they've started? Drop your theories below. And next chapter? We find out what happens when the mark activates. See you then.